Hey y'all, what is up and welcome back to my channel. Today you're gonna be getting ready with me as I chit chat. I have not filmed a video in so long, you guys. I'm sure you've noticed my content has been a little lacking here. Typically I do 2 videos a week, but I've only been able to commit to 1 video a week just simply because I have been crazy busy at work. If you don't follow me on Instagram, if you've missed out, I have transitioned from my old salon to my very own studio suite. So that's a quick little life update. Doing my best. I will definitely make sure to always have 1 video a week. If I can squeeze in a second, I will, but right now I'm just trying to get into the flow of things. But anywho, today's video, like I said, you're gonna be getting ready with me, and I wanted to talk about my experience being a Black woman in the beauty industry, in the beauty space. I feel like I probably have a little bit of, well, I have different perspectives just simply because, one, I am a professional hair colorist, I'm a makeup artist, and I do beauty YouTube. So I thought, just giving you guys, my experience, and please, that's what you have to keep in mind. Like, this is my experience. Everyone might have different experiences than me. That's okay, but this is just from me, my thought process, what I've gone through. And the reason why I even thought about this video is because on my Instagram, I've been doing shout outs just due to Black History Month being in February. I just wanted to put spotlight on my favorite hair colorists, makeup artists, YouTubers, anyone that's in the beauty space and they are a Black artist and I love them. I just want to shout them out. So that is how I got the idea for the video. Let's go ahead and get into it. So when I decided to start beauty school, I was 23 years old. Now, it's so funny because I think about my thought process at 23 and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so behind in life. Like, a lot of people I went to high school with, they're, have already graduated and working in their careers. And I was the kind of person where it just took me a long time to figure it out. And something that I always tell the teenagers in my family is, do not rush, okay? If you don't know what you want to do for the rest of your life, that is okay. That is a huge decision. And if you think you know, which I was when I thought I knew, guess what? Your mind can change. So I went into this very excited, but kind of just down on myself because I felt like, oh my gosh, I'm too old, where now that I am 32, no such thing as too old. So I started at 23, and my first half of beauty school experience, I was going to school at night because I needed to work during the day. And night school, beauty school, was fantastic because everyone there was working. Everyone had already had their careers, but they were trying to transition into the beauty space, and it was just a very chill, relaxed group. So halfway through, I ended up switching to daytime because I wanted to speed up the process. I knew it was going to be very difficult financially for me, but I also knew that I wanted to go ahead and get this done as fast as I could because at this point, I was already working as a receptionist at my old salon where I used to work at. So I was a receptionist there for 2 years, and during those 2 years, well, the 1.5, and I was going to beauty school. When I switched over to daytime, I realized that was a whole nother ball game just because we now have a different group of people. This crew was young. I'm talking fresh out of high school. Let me tell you, someone who is 18 is totally different from someone who is 23 years old. Yeah, those are still very young, but just the mindset of it all. And to me, it was a little bit of a culture shock because, it was just a different crew, a different demographic when it came to age. And, it was very irritating because there was just a lot of childish things that went on. But, it is what it is. So, however, I feel like daytime was better from the education standpoint. There were just more teachers, so therefore you can get more information, growing your skills. And beauty school, what you have to understand about beauty school is, when you go to beauty school is just simply so that way you can take your test, your state board test, and get your license. What you do in beauty school does not translate over into salon life. That is like a whole nother ball game. So if you're someone who's maybe going to beauty school or thinking of going to beauty school, please understand that beauty school is to pass the test. And then once you graduate and you get into a salon and you start assisting or you do an apprenticeship, that is when the real stuff happens. So I did that, and I noticed So my main reasoning for going to beauty school was just simply because I wanted to be a makeup artist. But I live in North Carolina, there weren't any makeup artistry schools. And I knew that being a makeup artist, first of all, no matter what in the beauty industry, it's a hustle. But I knew I needed to have an edge. I'm always thinking ahead. I'm always thinking about what's going to make me better. And I knew, okay, well, girlfriend, you better do some hair too. Thankfully, I'm blessed and I can do hair. I know some people, they typically just can do one or the other. Thankfully, I was able to do both. So went to beauty school, finished beauty school. And one thing that I learned in beauty school was when I got on the salon floor, first of all, the demographic as far as, you know, races in my beauty school, it was very diverse. You know, you had black girls, Latinas, whites, just, you know, it was a pretty good diverse mix. But something that was very fascinating were the clients that we serviced. 9 times out of 10, all black women. And here's why. Because these natural women could come and get their hair blown out for like 20 bucks. So yes, of course, you know what I mean? So we learned a lot about natural hair and blowing it out, because you have to understand, when you do your services, you have certain services you have to do on a mannequin and then certain amount of services on live clients. And you know, it's just constant. Like I had my weekly blowout people. You have your people you blow out every week. So you learn how to do a lot of natural hair, which is great and fantastic. However, I remember one girl, she said when she graduated, and this was a white girl, she said that she actually had a hard time because she realized that all she really knew how to do was natural hair. And when she went over to a black salon saying, hey, you know, I just want to work, they kind of looked at her sideways because they were like, this white girl can't blow out natural hair. The gag was she could. She was really good. And she was just like, no, like in beauty school, that was all that literally walked in. So therefore, that's what she knew how to do. So I thought that was very fascinating. But fast forward, I'll never forget, I had one client and I could hear her, like I always came to school, of course, dressed. Hair done, makeup on, dressed nicely, you know? We're in the beauty industry, we need to dress beautiful. I never understood that because there were just some people that just kind of, you know, look, thrown away. Like they just roll out of bed and came in, where I'm kind of like, okay, I'm not saying you got to be dressed down to the nines. However, beauty industry, you're supposed to look beautiful. So I'll never forget, my back was turned and a lady walked in and she was trying, I don't even know what service she wanted to get, but I heard her say, oh, I want that girl right there to do my hair. And I just so happened to turn around, she was pointing at me and I was like, why is she pointing at me? And so they got her all set up. She came over, sat in my chair. She's like, yeah, I wanted you to do my hair because you look great. And I was kind of like, what, huh? She said, you look like you know what you're doing. You're dressed nice, your hair is done, and your makeup is done. If you can make yourself look good, you can make myself look good. That was a very aha moment for me, because in this industry, and it's very tricky too, you are your walking advertisement, okay? You're your own walking billboard. So, you know, when you look the part, people believe in you no matter what. So that was a very, very eye-opening experience for me. Fast forward, graduating, now I am on the floor in my old salon that I was working at. And this is where things start getting interesting, okay? So my old salon, and I have no hard feelings whatsoever. I am still good friends with the owner. No bridges are burned, like all is well. And this is a white woman dominant salon. And the area that I work in and still work in, it is a diverse area. However, it is a more upper class area. And the salon, it's not in a open spot where there's a lot of foot traffic. It's in a great area, but it's in a small shopping center back off the road, so you won't see it. And so the majority of, well, all the stylists that work there were white, with the exception of me and another one. And so therefore, heavily populated white women. No big deal. I figured out real fast that, okay, I'm a young black girl, and I don't know if this is just something that is just instilled in black girls as a whole, but I knew, okay, you got to be on point. You need to be on time. You need to be top notch. You always gotta be 5 steps ahead. I don't know if it's just me. I kind of feel like it's just this black girl rite of passage understood type deal where in order for us to be on an even playing field, you gotta be 12 steps ahead. Let me know if you felt like that as well, but I know for me, I totally felt like that at all times. And I figured out early on, okay, girlfriend, in order for me to have an edge, to have a fighting chance, I need to know, first of all, hair color, which just so happened to be my favorite thing. Hair color is gonna make you money, period, okay? And it's not the fact that hair color just happens to be the high ticket item, but hair color is what I was just always very fascinated in, you know? I think typically with most black stylists, you know, you see a lot of sew-ins, extensions, and weaves. And yeah, can I do those things? Absolutely. Am I the best at them? No, I'm talking about when it comes to sew-ins, just simply because I have a pinched nerve on the left arm over here. And when I braid, it hurts and I can't do it. So therefore, my braiding is trash when it comes to making sure I have a solid foundation for sew-ins, just simply because I can't pull as tight because it hurts my hand. And so I felt like at one point I kind of got judged by black clients or other black women because that wasn't what I was doing. And for me, color was just my thing and made the most sense to me because you have to understand my mind works as a makeup artist first. So I already think color. I understood, okay, color is what I love. That's what at this point I realize I'm good at and it's going to make me money. And so with that thought process, I understood, okay, now that you know what you want to do, now you have to make sure that when you do this, you can do it on all people that walk through the door. That was my edge. I need to make sure that no matter who came through the door, no matter what their race was, no matter what their hair looked like, I needed to be able to do it. And that was my edge. And once I figured that out, I just kind of dived deeply into it. But then I also kind of realized too that just because of the area that I was in, I was kind of like, yo, like, I love working on natural hair. Where are all the black women? Like, what's going on? Because I know in the area, I know there's black women in here because I lived in the area at that time. I lived in that area and I would see plenty. And so I had to really, really just start marketing. It's kind of hard because at that point, I'm just taking whatever was coming in because you have to realize I'm not booth rental at this point. Like I'm still assisting and then commissions, you know what I mean? So I gotta just take whatever comes in the door. But I realized the issue was that black women didn't know that I was there. Once black women did know that there was a salon there, they just assumed that because it was, you know, that salon was more white women dominated, that there was no one there that could do their hair, and that wasn't the case. So I had to fight really, really hard to just kind of basically grow my natural hair black woman demographic for my business. And that was really hard. I'll never forget one time I had a client reach out to me on Instagram and she was just like, do you do black hair? And I got super offended by that because I was just kind of like, I wanted to say, yeah, girl, I do black hair every day. Like, and then I had to just take a step back. And I was like, Amber, okay, she's probably just assuming because of the area that you work in, the salon that you work in, and she's probably just going off of the first 3 photos she saw on Instagram, didn't take time to just scroll once and see that there's a variety of different types of hair on my page. And I just responded back, yes, and kept it pushing. But that really, really hurt me to my core because it just, I don't know, I think it was almost, I took it too much to heart. I understand that. But I took it as if she was kind of saying like, oh, well, you're not really black. You know what I mean? It was almost like as if she was questioning me, challenging me and my blackness and my abilities. But that was, you know, something I had to realize. Amber, get over it. Don't take it like that. Keep it pushing. And something else that I experienced a lot in the salon whenever I'd get a new client, and you know, They'd say, okay, you're booked with Amber. And they would assume that Amber was blonde hair and blue eyes. So when Amber walked up and introduced herself, and they are looking at a very black Amber, it kind of caught them off guard, which is fascinating because all the Ambers I know are black. And I know 3 other Ambers, and all 3 of them are black. And so I just kind of find that hilarious. But I'll never forget one instance. There was a stylist that was on maternity leave, and I was just handling her clients for her until she returned. And she just had all her clients go to me. She's like, hey girl, I trust you, I like your work. Can you handle my clients? And I think that is such a huge, no matter what type of stylist it is, that says a lot. That's a huge compliment, because if a stylist feels comfortable referring their clients to you, that's a big compliment. And I was just kind of like, oh yeah, of course girl, no problem. I'll do your clients for you. You come back, you know, I'll go ahead and just courtesy to go ahead and rebook them with her, because you never take anyone's clients. That's not cool. That's just stylist etiquette. But I walked up to her. I was like, hey, I'm Amber. And I could tell she was kind of like, oh, taken aback. And I was like, I just kind of said, are you okay? Because she just really looked shocked. She's like, oh yeah, everything's fine, it's fine. I was like, all right, cool. She was like, yeah, you know, my stylist recommended you. She said you were really, really good. And I was like, oh yeah, awesome. And she's like, yeah, she can. Then she just, I could tell she was thinking it out loud. She didn't mean to say it. She goes, yeah. She goes, you just didn't. She was like, I was just expecting something else. And I said, what exactly were you expecting? And she's like, no, I just thought you looked, I think I confused you with someone else. I thought you looked like someone else. And I said, what, like white? And her eyes got big and she turned tomato red, and she just said, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I said, don't worry about it. I'm gonna go mix up your color if you're still comfortable. She's like, yes, no, totally fine, totally fine. And that irritated me just as much as the other client asking me if I did black hair, because I feel like for me, it's always this pull. It's like, oh, well, do you do black hair? Then the other side is, oh, well, can you even do my hair? Because you're not white. And what people have to realize is, if you're a good hairstylist, you can do hair, okay? Hair is freaking hair, period, okay? You have to be educated and understand different types of hair and how they work and how they operate, because obviously, yeah, someone who has bone straight fine hair is gonna be totally different from someone who has really, really kinky, coily hair. But at the end of the day, hair is hair. The science of hair is just simply the science of hair. That does not change. So me personally, I have worked and fought my way up, and I have just educated myself on so many different hair types and techniques and whatnot, because like I said, I want it to be that hairstylist that no matter who you are or where you're from, you could sit in my chair and I could do your hair. This video is going to be a long one. I'm going to go ahead and apologize. So yeah, that was something that I experienced a lot. You know what I mean? In the salon, just people, I could tell, being very hesitant about me doing their hair, just simply because I don't look a certain way, or even, you know, just black clients being hesitant coming into the salon just simply because it was a predominantly white woman salon. But all in all, that's, you know, a little bit of my salon experience. Now, makeup wise, makeup is very fascinating too, because I have been on plenty of jobs before. I'll never forget one job where I was doing, it was Charlotte Fashion Week where I live. And I'll never forget this guy. He was a Latino guy, and he came up to me, and, you know, we put a little makeup on guys too, just, you know, imperfection, spot concealing, whatever the case may be. And he just comes up to me, and he just has this look of horror in his eyes, and he just comes up to me. He's like, can you please fix my makeup? And I looked at him, and I was like, yeah, absolutely. Basically, this boy was looking casket sharp. It was so pasty, so white, and you know, no, he's not black, but he's a person of color. Like, he has melanin in his skin. And at that moment, I just couldn't really quite figure out, like, how can you call yourself a makeup artist if you cannot do makeup on all skin tones? Because here's the thing. Makeup, when it comes to the artistry of it, makeup's not as complex as hair. Basically with hair, like hair is hair, but you have different structures, okay? Makeup is all color theory. So if you know your color theory, if you understand undertones, it doesn't matter what type of skin tone you're working on, because no matter what, everybody has an undertone. So it just really baffles me. I've had girls before message me and say, oh my gosh, I have a woman of color client, what do I do? And I'm like, the same thing you do on your white clients. But again, of course, you can't, I had to get to a place to where you can't fault people because they don't know what they don't know. You know, some artists just simply never have the opportunity to work on a woman of color. You know what I mean? And I feel like that is just, first of all, quite a shame. But at the same time, you know, you don't know what you don't know. So those are some things that I noticed in regards to makeup, and still the same standards I hold for myself. I had to make sure, of course, that I could do everyone's makeup. And this is, I feel, should be standard across the board. If you are a makeup artist, you need to have everyone's foundation shade. I don't care what eyeshadow, what eyeliner, what brow pencils, what you're using. You need to have foundations in your kit that can work with everyone. So my kit, and I'm gonna do a little video on it soon, it ain't fancy when it comes to foundation, all right? Like I know some, you know, these top celebrities, the top celebrity makeup artists, they have, you know, all these different brands and whatnot because, you know, brands are checking for them and sending them products, which I think is fantastic. But for me, I use GRWM palette. Why? Because it's light. 2, because I custom mix everybody's foundation, period. That's just how I work. Anytime I've tried to just take a foundation straight out of the bottle, it's never custom enough for me because everyone needs 2 or more. If you're talking black women, just needs 2 or more shades on their face. For me, if I'm working on someone, it's just not realistic to just, you know, oh, here's a bottle of foundation, this is what you get, and push them out the door. Like, no, I need to custom mix it according to your skin undertone, to how fair, how deep you are. There's just a lot of things that go into it. Now, moving on to the YouTube space, the social media space, y'all. Social media is a trip when it comes to beauty. When it comes to my YouTube and even my Instagram, I do my own thing, you know. I realize, and I touched base on this earlier, you know, this is a business, all right? Brands are looking for people who have, one, a large following, because guess what? At the end of the day, they want to make some money, honey. That's what they're trying to do, and I get that. But also, you know, they're looking for a certain look, which again is fine. It's fine, it's fine. And they're looking for a following. I feel like I'm someone that does not have that certain look that they're going for, and that's okay. And I also don't have a massive following, which is also okay, because I am now in a space where I do my own thing. And with the House of Amber P, that is my brand. I am creating my own brand just simply because I got tired of checking for other brands. I told y'all that. And also in the process of me, you know, creating my own brand and just doing things my way, my style, I also like to lift other stylists up, other YouTubers up in the process, because I just feel like it's so easy for us smaller influencers to just get lost in the seas. And it's kind of disheartening because there's some dope people out there. As far as opportunities for black beauty influencers, you don't really see that many, you know, opportunities. Of course, you see the bigger people like Jackie Aina, Makeup Shayla, Patricia Bright and whatnot. But as far as like micro influencers, it can be very disheartening because you just don't see that many, you know, black beauty influencers getting a lot of opportunities, you know? And if you do, it's kind of like always the big mass, the big major ones, which is great because representation matters. We definitely need that. But at the same time, it's just kind of like, yo, like, it can just be very defeating. Period. It can be very defeating. So me, I just, you know, stay in my lane, mind my own business, and I focus on my why. My why is to present makeup and just beauty as a whole to my peeps in a way that's easy, simplistic but still looks good. You know, that's the foundation of my brand. Keep it simple. That's my life motto. Keep it simple. That can be applied to every aspect of your life, no matter what it is that you do or what you're doing. So all right, you guys, I'm just gonna hurry up and finish up really quick because this video is way too long. Just wanted to, you know, chit chat with you as I got ready. Just a couple of things that I have experienced in the beauty space being a Black woman. I'll be right back. All right, you guys, I am back, done with my makeup. I just threw on some Fenty gloss because I'm going to have to wipe it off anyway, but that's going to wrap up today's video. Just all in all, and I think this has probably been an ongoing struggle for me, something that I've always struggled with, and I'm just not quite sure where this stems from. Probably need to go talk to my therapist, but just the struggle of feeling like I'm just never quite good enough. I struggle with that, and that's totally something that I struggled with in regards to being in the beauty industry. Just like, oh God, like I just feel like I'm never good enough. But please know, if you're someone who feels like that or battles with that, you're not alone, and you just have to constantly affirm yourself. I had to tell myself, you are a great hairstylist. You can do all hair types. You can do all skin tones. You are a dope beauty YouTuber. You are doing well. So just try not to be so hard on yourself and understand that when those things start sounding off in your head, it's just nothing but the devil, nothing but the enemy trying to keep you down. So positive affirmations, have an attitude of gratitude, and just keep pushing forward. And also, I know this video is really, really long, but I just wouldn't feel right not shouting out a couple of my favorite Black beauty YouTubers here. If I forget anybody, please forgive me. These are just the ones that are at the top of my head. Of course, it's Lori's Life, Lady T Severs, who I am so proud of her. She switched careers and now she's an esthetician. She did a facial on me a couple of months ago and it was fantastic. It's Crystal. She is my fairy god sister. I absolutely love her. I love her style, her vibe, her swagger, her aura. She is the beauty professional. Like, I aspire to be like her. She's awesome. Let's see, Rhea, she has a cosmetics brand, Urban Vibes, and Sweet King Jazzy Baptist, he's amazing. His skin is like chocolate Godiva. Alicia Kinky Sweat, she's dope. Absolutely love her content. Yeah, if I didn't mention someone, it's no shade. That's just what I could think of off the top of my head. All right, you guys, so that is going to wrap up today's video. Just wanted to kind of share my thoughts and what I personally experienced in the beauty space. I hope you guys enjoy this little chit chat. You want to continue the conversation, you can do so down below. I love y'all, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.